Hey everyone, it's Bethany, and in this tutorial we are finally going to be exploring smart labels. So I'm really excited to show you guys this because this is really fun and this can really open up your world to so many different crafts. I'm really excited. I tried this out last night for the first time and I was really happy with the results. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how you can use smart labels, and you can actually write on smart labels. So we're going to actually use the Cricut Joy pen, and this is just the pen that came with the Joy. So we're going to use that to write on the labels and create some labels for these sweet little jars that I have. So I got these, I actually ordered them from Hobby Lobby, and they are, I'll link them below. Always be sure to look at that description box below for any materials that I'm using, but I got them. They are about $2.49, so I can't remember if they were on sale or not, but they are 10 ounces. So I got these sweet little jars. They're glass, but the top, it feels like the top little piece is plastic in there. It doesn't quite feel glass to me. It feels more plastic. So I am going to actually make some labels for each of these 3 jars, and these are actually going to go in my craft space. So as you know, if you have a craft space, there's always little things to organize. So if you want to organize your craft space, this is a great tutorial. If you want to organize your pantry, it's a great tutorial. Anything you want to put a label on with this smart labeling system and write on the labels, this tutorial is going to be amazing for you. So make sure, if you don't want to make craft labels, just take away the tips and tricks from this tutorial and make labels for whatever little canister you would like. But I'm going to do it for these little sweet craft room organization jars for myself. So what we're going to need today is obviously the Cricut Joy. We're going to need this smart label. Again, it's writable vinyl, and this one I just got the 48-inch pack, so I can't remember if they sell a bigger version of this, but this is the one that I got. You're going to need your pen that came with the Cricut Joy. This one is a fine point pen, and it's a 0.4. It's the black pen. You guys, I have to be honest, I wasn't really into using pens and all of that with my Cricut machines, but the Cricut Joy has kind of turned me into a lover of the writing feature, so I definitely think I'm gonna get online this weekend and order some different color pens because I'm kind of having a really fun time doing all this. So that is all you're gonna need for the smart labels. So if you want to stop there, then you are completely done. So I'm actually gonna add a little bit of paper to the top of these little canisters just to add a little bit of color and fun. So I got 3 different colors of scrapbook paper. These came in a pack together. It was called the Baby Girl pack, and I think they just coordinate so well together. So we have kind of a polka dot one, a floral one, and then a nice gingham one. So we will measure out the insides of these rounds on the top of the canister, and we will get those measured. And then we're going to use a measuring tape to get all of our measurements for the labels and then the tops of the jars, and then some scissors and a spatula. Again, everything over here is all for the top of the canister, except for the scissors. You'll probably use that for both. But if you're just doing smart labels, you literally need your machine, your pen, and the smart labels, and then potentially some scissors, obviously. So it's a very easy project. I'm really excited to show you how to do that. So we're gonna hop into Design Space in a second, and I'll show you how you can organize and design all of your labeling. And then what we're gonna do is we'll get everything cut out. So first of all, let's go ahead and measure our jars. So I'm gonna open up the inside. Let's measure for our little circles first. So I'm just flipping the lid upside down. I'm taking my measuring tape and I'm going to measure the inside, and that's coming in at about 3 inches, but I don't want it to be so big that it bubbles up or anything, so I'm just going to say that I want it to be less than 3 inches, just maybe a hair short. So we'll go with that for the insides, and so I'll put that back on top. And now the next thing I'm going to measure is I'm just going to set it down on its side here, and I am going to just measure from the top of the glass to the bottom of the glass. So not from the little lid here, but just this top of the glass. And we are just about, we're just about 3 inches, just a little bit short. So that's going to make it easy because we just have to remember 3 inches and keep it smaller than that. So I'm thinking my label will probably be 1.5 inches for my height. So, okay, we have all of the measurements. little tongue twister. We have all the measurements we need. I think it's because I'm reading a lot of Dr. Seuss lately. My goodness, those get fun. So we're going to go ahead and hop into Cricut Design Space. We're going to get our labels all cut out and designed, and we're going to do a lot of drawing on them, and it's going to be really, really fun. I can't wait for you guys to see this. So let's get started. Okay, so here we are in Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to try to do this perfectly for you guys. So Smart Labels are new to all of us because they just rolled out about a month ago with the Cricut Joy. So this is all really fun, but it's also really brand new for all of us. So I love it when you guys give me suggestions for tutorials that you want to see. And most of the time I know exactly how to do it because I've done it over and over again. But with new products, I have to think, I will definitely do a video, but I have to learn myself so that I can then teach you. So I am going to create labels for you guys today, and you guys will learn how to do it. It's really easy. It takes a couple more steps than normal, but you guys, just with the practice, you guys will get it down in no time, just like I have. So now what I'm going to do is I will start by going to the images box, and I will click that. The first one, I typed in vine border draw, and I'm just going to add a little vine to my label. So I'll do that one first, and it's this one right here. And let me hit the info button in case you want to find the same one, because this can be a stinker to find. So the code is MCFFBE80, and I find it's helpful to put the little pound symbol in when trying to search for it. It helps. So I'm going to go ahead and select that one. Then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say oval label. Whoops, label. And if you're not sure what kind of label you want, you can just type in labels to the little search engine up here, and you can just browse through all of the options. So I'm going to grab this one. So I have my vine and my oval, and I'm going to go ahead and insert them into my canvas. So the first thing I will do is I am going to label my little label white. And before anything else, I'm going to size this at a height of 1.5. So I'm going to make this a lot bigger so that we can see. Size this down a little bit. That way we can really see. But I wanted to size my label in the beginning just so I wouldn't forget. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. And the second one I'm going to say draw. So what this is going to do is I'm going to make it a little smaller. I'm just going to create a little border around my label. So the bottom one, the bottom oval, is going to cut, just like it says over here. This top label is going to draw an oval over on top of my label. So it's just going to add a little border. I thought it would add some visual interest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both of the ovals. I'm going to come up here to align and click that, come here, and say center. So it just moved it just a hair, but it made it perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my little vine a little smaller. Again, this is a draw file, so this will draw. And if you bring it over and you can't see it, what you can do is you can just drag it up to the top of your panel, your layers panel over here, or you can right click and say send to front. So now I'll get this put on. And that looks pretty good to me. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to, let's see, does it look perfect? I think it looks just about where I want it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to say attach. Now attaching makes sure that this whole label will cut and draw exactly how I like it right here. So you want to make sure you attach it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to duplicate this for the other labels that I am going to create, but I'm also going to duplicate it a fourth time, and that fourth label, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hide it. So I'm just going to click this hide button. I do that because I want to keep a blank label handy in my canvas, because I already know that I'm going to go onto hobbylobby.com and order more of these jars because they came in adorable, and I'm going to need more for my craft space anyway. So I'm going to make sure I have a blank label hidden in my canvas. That way when I come back to create more labels, it's already ready to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the text. So I'm going to go over to the text box right here, and I am going to use the font Four Seasons Home Decor, and it's in the style writing. So my first word, I like to start with my longest word for sizing purposes, and my first word is going to be letter,
board. Okay, so I'm going to need to size this down. So I want all of my words on each one to be the same size. So I like to start with my longest word so that I can size that appropriately and then base everything off of that, just because it's easier to size the biggest one first. That looks great to me. I think we're going to do right about there. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my words, and then I'm going to come up here and say duplicate, and I will drag it down and double click because now they're sized how I want, so I want to just duplicate them so everything remains the same. And the next one I'm going to do is clothespins. And now it's already sized, so I can just drag it up, place it. Looks great. Do I want to drag it up just a little more? Whoop. Okay, now the next one I'm going to do is, so I'll go ahead and duplicate this once more. Woo! Sometimes it just wants to grab all the wrong things. Oh my goodness, come here. My computer is telling me it's 5 a.m. and it's too early to craft, but I disagree. I can craft at any time of day. Okay, so now I'm going to do my third one, and my third one is going to say washi tape. Okay, and that one's great. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is, I think those look great. Okay, I love how they look. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to highlight each one and make sure I attach them. That way they cut and write exactly how I have them arranged here. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to make those circle tops for the paper to cut out. So I am going to go over here to the shapes, and I'm going to make a circle. And I am going to, remember I said I just wanted this to be a hair smaller than 3 inches, so I'm going to do like 2.94. That looks great. And I want to make sure these are, okay, these are 1.5 inches in height, which was great. Now we're all good. So I'm going to actually hide the circle, and I'll come back in and cut it later just out of paper with our green mat, but I'm going to let these cut first. So I'm going to go ahead and click Make It. And I'm going to say without a mat because we are using a brand new roll of the Smart Vinyl Writable Vinyl. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And now this looks great. You can move these around if you like, but it looks great to me. I'm going to go ahead and click Continue. And now it's just going to locate our little Joy here. And now we'll just go to Popular Materials and we will click Smart Label Writable Vinyl. And now what we're going to do is we are going to load the black pen first, and then we'll load the material. If it tells you that there's multiple colors down here and you want to use the same color, then just keep clicking go every time it tells you to load a new pen. Sometimes the lines like the vine or the oval that we're going to draw or the text, sometimes they think that they're going to be in different colors. Because the variation of color in the canvas can be a little different, so Cricut thinks you want to use multiple colors. So if you want to change out your colors, make sure you do some color changing in your canvas, and you can do really colorful labels, but I'm just going to use black for all of these. So I'm disregarding that it's wanting me to add a separate black pen and then a midnight black pen. It's totally fine. I'm just using the same pen for everything. So if you come up with that, and you see that it's telling you to load a pen but you didn't want to change the color, just continue on and keep clicking go, and you can just use the same pen that you have loaded. It's totally great. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and load the pen, and we will get to cutting.
Okay, so we have the writable vinyl outside of the box. It's all ready to go, and the first thing it wants us to do is load the pen first. So what we're going to do is we are going to just open the clamp, and we'll take the little blade out and just set it to the side. And then we are going to take the lid off and just place the pen, just drop it down and close the clamp. It's very, very easy. And now what we're going to do is we are going to load the Smart Vinyl with auto load into the machine. So we're just going to let it pull in. It's going to pull it all the way in and make sure we have enough vinyl to do the cut, which we definitely have plenty. And then it's going to go ahead and say click go, and it will start writing. So this is really, really fun to watch. So if you have some coffee, which I do, I have my little coffee, I'm just going to sit here and watch it cut out. And what's fun is the Joy kind of cuts in any order, so it's kind of fun to see what it does first. Now, I want to make sure that my vinyl isn't bunched up right here, so I kind of let my whole roll just keep falling on the table. That way it's not bunched up, so it just makes me nervous when it bunches up and the pen is writing, because I don't want it to do anything silly. So just kind of make sure it can nicely flow across your table or flow off of your table would be my preference. So now it's going to start on the little letters. It looks great. Okay, it's just finishing up. It looks so cute. So what I'm going to do while it finishes is I'm going to take a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and I'm just going to wipe off the little jars because they were shipped to me. So there's probably a lot of gunk on them just from being in the store, shipping and handling, all that stuff. So I'm just going to get these all clean, just like I would with adhesive vinyl. I just like to make sure the fronts are nice and clean and free of grime. Okay. There we go. And if you look at your cotton swab, there, usually is some stuff that comes off of there, so it's just better to be safe and get it all nice and clean. Okay, so I'm just doing the fronts of those. Now what I'm going to do is it's going to have me install the fine point blade, so I'm just going to take this out and put my cap back on, and then we'll just drop the blade right into the little spot here, and then close the clamp and click go. Another thing that I just remembered is the reason it might be asking for other pens is because of the different, like the Vine might be asking for a different size pen. So what you can do in Design Space is you can just select 0.4, that 0.4 fine tip for every single thing. Like you'll want to select it for the oval, the Vine, and the writing, and then it will all use the same pen. So that's another step too that will probably remedy that situation. But again, we're all learning. It's all so brand new. So now what we're going to do is we are going to just say unload. And they look great. So I'm just going to cut them off, and I'm going to use my little paper trimmer here. And I like to use my paper trimmer with Smart Vinyl because I like to leave a nice clean edge. That way when I go to auto load it again into the machine, it's got a nice straight starting point for the next project. So now I can save this for my next project, and that next project is probably coming a lot sooner than I think because this is so cute and so fun. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this aside, and I think I'll grab my scissors and just save off this little piece down here because I know based on the size that I can create another label. Just like that. Okay, so I'll save this little piece. That way I can create another label of that size if I want. So it is looking awesome. I'm so excited. Okay, so now let's get ready to place them onto the jars. Okay, so I'm grabbing my jars, and the ink is already dry. It, dries really, really, really quickly, so that's a wonderful thing about it. It's also the wonderful thing about using the pen they recommend because it's, compatible with the vinyl, so it is known to dry and not smear or smudge. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay down my little jars here, and you can just put a little wedge under each side so it doesn't roll. And I'm just going to apply these like a sticker. So I'm just going to kind of bend the back vinyl. Okay, so I'm just going to peel this like a sticker, just like this. And I'm just going to center it the best that I can. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, sorry guys, let me put it up a little bit. Okay. So I'm just going to center it the best that I can. And lay it down. So then I'm just going to, like I would with normal vinyl, just going to kind of start in the middle and then with my finger just rub towards the center, making sure there's no little bubbles that pop up. And if there are, you'll do like you do with vinyl and just kind of rub them out with your finger. How cute! Oh my goodness, they look so sweet. I love it. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this over here for reference so I know where to put that other label because it will bother me to high heavens if I don't get these perfect. So let me put another one right here. Now they're pushing each other, they're fighting. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the next one and I'm just bending that other piece back, and then I'm just, it is actually a pretty thin little layer, so just be really careful, but it peels really great. And then again, centering, just visually. Woo! Oh, my other one's rolling away. That's okay. I got it centered before it did so. Okay, so again, just like this. Oh, cute, cute, cuteness. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so we'll put this one over here. And then we'll, again, I'm just leaving one down so that I can kind of match them up the best that I can here. Okay, and our little washi tape one. These are going to look so great in my little craft space. I'm definitely going to have to order some more. I can think, it's amazing. I like to kind of start and order a couple and just see how things are going and how the look is coming together. And then if I really like it, I'll order a ton more. Okay. Looks awesome. Okay. Okay, so there they are. So the labels are on. They look amazing. So now what we're going to do is we are just going to cut out the little circles for the top with our pattern paper, and that's just going to add a little touch of color to the top, and then we will get them really put together and we'll see the final product. So now I'm just going to put my paper on the mat and we'll get that cutting. Okay, so I'm just going to add my little paper to my mat, just lay it down. Now in Cricut Design Space, the material I set it to was deluxe paper and it cuts just great. So I'll just go ahead and auto load it. It'll make sure my mat is aligned, and then I can go ahead and click go and it will cut the circle. Now again, this was just a shy hair of 3 inches, and we'll just place it in the top of our little jars. I think it'll just add something really fun, add some color. Okay, so now that's already done. So what I'll do is say unload. And then what I'll do is I'll just take this paper off. Perfect, and save that for another project. And then for this piece, what I'll do is I'm just gonna bend my mat, bring my little slice or my spatula tool, and I'll just kind of lightly bring that up. It's almost as if you are peeling up cookies from a cookie sheet. It's exactly the same method. So now I have that little piece, and now I'll just do the other 2. Okay, so now I have all my little circles cut out. So what I'll do is I will go ahead and take the tops off of my jars, and I will place a circle pattern side up. So it'll just be pattern side up for the top of the lid, and then I will put it right down in there and close it, and then it has a really cute little top to the lid. I think that's really, really fun. Now if you want to add some double stick tape or anything to it to stop it from moving around, then you can. I'm just going to let mine kind of float in there, and then because they kind of push to the top when closed, and I think it looks really, really pretty. So I'm going to add that little third one, and I liked doing a little mixture of patterns because I thought it just looked really nice and added some fun little looks. So those are the little jars. So let's get them all filled up and then we can get them in the craft space. Okay, so they're all filled up. I'm gonna need a bigger jar or another one because all my letters did not fit because I have the large ones, but it looks really, really great. I love how they look. I love how the tops look and the little washi tape's all in there. It's all in a nice little spot, so it all looks so sweet. I'm really happy with the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this. So no matter what, if you want to create little jars for your craft space, if you want to create little jars for your pantry, you can do the same routine, same methods to create your labels. So go ahead and go crazy and make labels for whatever you would like. But I personally love how these turned out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. So if you guys enjoyed this tutorial, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. I would love that. And if you're new to my channel, I'd love if you'd subscribe and stick around. I would love to show you what's coming next to the channel. The next thing that should be popping up soon are cupcake toppers. So we're going to be making some little tops for cupcakes. We're going to be doing some dish towels, which is going to come in mighty handy right now as we're doing all of our hand washing. So we're going to make some cute dish towels. We're going to do some infusible ink. There's so many fun things coming to the channel. So if you're new or if you've been here a while, get ready. Make sure you're all subscribed. Hit the bell so that you get a cute little chime on your device when I have a new video posted. And we will see you all in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and thanks for watching.